Bringing it back to Australia now, there's been chaos at Sydney beaches. Thousands of people, including tourists and backpackers, have taken part in a Christmas Day party at Bronte Beach. And the sad thing about this is just the disrespect shown by people going to these beautiful, clean beaches and the amount of rubbish that has been left behind. Some of the images show bags of rubbish just everywhere, empty beer bottles, wine bottles, left at the usually clean beach park. More than 250 additional garbage bins were placed at Bronte Beach by the council in anticipation for this event, but it appeared to have made no difference. And residents are really upset about this. They're voicing their concerns about who's paying for this cleanup. They're suggesting that next year partygoers should be charged $20 for a cleaning fee. Just looking at all those images, it looks like a nightmare, but it's frustrating that there's also an alcohol ban in place, and that appears to get ignored, Freya.
For sure. I mean, there were full-on DJ booths set up. Like, they're pretty enterprising. I must give them credit for that. And this is the challenge, right? Normally, I'm pro-fun. I'm like, all those people complaining about noise, they're shutting down live music left, right and centre. Pubs are having to close early. I just think that's the worst. I'm like, come on, let us have fun. Young people are dealing with enough at the moment. Mental health is deteriorating rapidly. Like, just let people have fun. But when 15,000 people rock up at a relatively small beach and trash the place, I struggle to be pro-fun in that instance. And I mean, if you had 15,000 people at any sort of other event, it would be a massive festival. This looked like a music festival. This was should be a huge production that would have a multi-million-dollar budget to manage crowds, to provide cleaning, portaloos, like all the services that we don't even think about, but that are required when you're dealing with this many thousands of people. And like, what happens if someone collapses because of heat stroke or cardiac arrest or something? How do you get an ambulance into a crowd of 15,000 people at Bronte Beach? So it's pretty crazy. I have sympathy for the partygoers because I'm like, yay, good on them. But at the same time, it's like, that is insane.
Yeah, I'm with you being pro-fun as much as we can, especially here in Australia. There are too many rules. But it's just so sad seeing Bronte Beach like this. And the difference is it is at a beach. It is a dangerous environment for tourists, for backpackers who aren't as familiar with our beaches. And it puts pressure on the lifeguards.
I've got a feeling this is something that happens every year in Sydney, and people from around the country would know Bronte Beach is one of the most sort of exclusive, ritzy, second only probably to Bondi in terms of the sort of most exclusive neighbourhood on those eastern beaches, which are the most expensive real estate in the country. I have some pretty strong insights into this. I'm pretty sure I know who was responsible for this just absolute drunken devastation. It's the Irish. Clearly what has happened, they're my people. I know them when I see them. I'm an half Irish Catholic myself, and that obviously means Irish Catholic is code for alcoholic. And what has happened is Ireland has gone so humorless and woke to the point where they've got, pro-Palestine protesters entering Christmas Catholic masses and then being applauded. It's like,
awful.
I think you're in the wrong place, guys. So that's obviously become so boring that all the fun, drunken Irish have come over here in even greater numbers. And so, the drunken Irish backpacker, who is basically the national emblem of Bondi, is now descending on neighbouring Bronte Beach. And they're just like, nah,
can they learn how to clean up after themselves?
Well, they should learn how to, but this is the other thing that I reckon might be here. So there's this alcohol ban at Bronte Beach, right? Something tells me it's not working. Something tells me it's not actually going ahead. They know that they get these huge crowds of thousands of people here over the holiday period every summer. Would it not be a better idea to say, listen, okay, we know that you're going to come and get drunk on Christmas Day. They've got no families to go to because they're Irish and they're fighting with all of them. And so they all come to the one location. You have a controlled environment. You have a regulated environment. You have heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps of recycling bins. They never seem to have enough of those. It never seems to be easy enough. And if they've put in all these extra bins and there's still that much rubbish there, clearly there's not enough. And again, I do not believe that, some people are just pigs, right, obviously. And I'm not just talking about the Irish, I'm also talking about New Zealanders. But But all of those bins, I'm pretty sure, would have been full and overflowing. So clearly people are trying to do the right thing, trying to get it in there, and it is just not happening. So just get even more bins, acknowledge there's going to be an alcohol thing, have rangers going through, getting rid of all the stuff, pay them triple time.
Be a ticketed event then, so they know what they're signing up for. That can all be included in the ticket.
Not for a price, maybe just simply for crowd control numbers. So I don't like the idea of charging people to go to the beach under any circumstances. That is a very,
But if they're going to drink,
well, they'll just move to another beach.
They can bring their own booze. No, I'm not saying sell them booze, but saying this is the
to take away the alcohol ban.
So you can come there, perhaps for a special occasion. Acknowledge that this is an event that happens whether council approves of it or not.
You've got drunk people in the ocean.
You've got drunk people in the ocean anyway, and you've got people who, even when they are stone cold sober, simply cannot swim. You've got rock fishermen who cannot swim for the love of God, who aren't wearing life jackets. That's where some of the worst drownings occur. So that happens anyway. Better to acknowledge the fact that it just happens and to say, right, we're just going to make sure it's clean. We're going to have people on hand to tell them. I
don't really want to reward this behaviour. Yeah. People who are turning out to these beaches and just completely trashing these beaches.
But it's already anarchy. It's already happening. It's already anarchy. I'm saying put the resources in to manage it. So you've got rangers who can tell people to keep the music down if they're bothering people, keep a check on antisocial behaviour, have bins, cleaners.
I acknowledge what you're saying, Joe, and I'm sympathetic to your argument. But the challenge is, right, it's a public holiday. You're paying people, 2.5 times their hourly rate. You've got policemen there, mounted policemen. You've got council rangers. You've got all the people involved in the cleanup. This is going to cost money, and it's the ratepayers of Waverley Council.
The wealthiest ratepayers in the country. Won't somebody think of the eastern suburban ratepayers?
But maybe an answer is Waverley Council just owns this as an iconic institution that happens every Christmas, and then they put it on. But you could actually have food trucks selling alcohol, so at least you have people with RSAs, and then you could enforce the ban. Because if there was a way for people to get it, but in a responsible way, you would be able to.
The backpackers aren't going to be paying.
Why
for it. You're not going to be paying $11 for.
I think a lot of people would be trying to do, food stalls and drinks at beaches, and then they go to the backpackers on Christmas Day. I don't know.
And they're probably not going to be paying for some gourmet Bronte ham and cheese croissants.
I do not.
They are just